Gogue, this is the interesting thing about this matchup. Once again, Triple G, and this is a huge money fight. From what I'm gathering, the purse is over $20 million for this event.
Oh,
right?
Crap, really?
$20 million for this event, and it's being put up by DAZN. Their expansion in the East. They've been really looking forward to this event. Now it's finally upon us. And because of Golovkin's age, listen to this. What initially started out in the odds, Coach Gogue, as Gennady Golovkin, when this betting line was first introduced last year, Gennady Golovkin was listed as a minus 650, with Ryota Murata being a plus 500. Now, because of, betting money, because of the bettors actually putting money on Ryota Murata, it shifted the line. We're going into fight week now. It's sitting at a minus 450, with Ryota Murata being a very live plus 333. Do you agree with those odds? Do you agree with the bettors who are now putting big green on Ryota Murata?
Yeah, the odds swung in, what's his name, the Japanese guy's favor. Well, it's not in his favor. The odds lower. People are still wondering at 40 years old, can does Triple G have anything left?
Yeah.
He hasn't fought. He hasn't been really active, since he's left Able. And that fight he had with, what do you call it? Derevyanchenko? Is that his name?
Sergey Derevyanchenko.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a tough fight. He got hit a lot. He got hurt in the fight. First time I've ever seen him hurt in a fight with a body shot, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He was hurt. He visibly showed it through his emotions, through his facial expressions, okay? And then his last fight, who was his last fight with? I can't remember.
It was Kamil Szeremeta. Kamil Szeremeta out of Poland, sir.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that guy.
Yeah,
but,
and once again, it was a product of the IBF ranking system. He was the number 22 ranked middleweight in the world, but somehow he became the mandatory challenger for Gennady Golovkin.
They wanted a softie to keep Golovkin as champion, so they did it. But anyway, he's 40 years old. Come on, man. Guys reach their prime, in their 30s. When they start getting over 35, they start slowly declining.
Yep.
Nowadays, these motherfuckers, man, you know what I mean? They're performing good, 35, 36, 37, 38, like they're still in their prime. I wonder how. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know how.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
You're on that fucking shit. That's why.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be difficult, and obviously Gennady Golovkin, he's had to be very careful. And Coach, you touched on this a little bit last week. Please remind us how difficult it is when you're training and the goal line, the date keeps getting pushed back. It's been pushed back now 4 times. And a guy who's 40 years old preparing for a unification bout with a very strong puncher like Ryota Murata. What does he have to do in preparation for this event, Gennady Golovkin, in not overtraining?
Well, that's up to his coach, okay, to oversee everything. Look, this fight's been postponed, 4 times?
Yep.
Man, there's only so much you can sharpen a knife before it gets dull, okay? And, going through a training camp, the fight gets canceled. Going through the training camp, you're peaking, the fight gets canceled. Going through the training camp again, the fight gets canceled, and so on. Man, that takes a lot out of you. Because, Joe, mentally, emotionally, and physically, you're putting your body through at his age, he's putting his body through those tough training camps. You're still sparring, you're still taking, pounding on your body, your brain, the physical work, you got to put it in the gym. Then all of a sudden to reach a peak, then all of a sudden the fight's off, and it's like, what do you call it? Putting a knife in a tire. It just deflates you. So, and at 40 years old, you know what I mean? But even with all these layoffs, or these cancellations, he's still a big level above that Japanese guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's why. And once again, I've spoken to several journalists as well as prize fighters, as well as guys in the industry. Been speaking to all of them about this matchup, and they insist that they think there is going to be an upset here. And here's why. Even though you look at Ryota Murata, him getting outboxed and outpointed by, well, an over-the-hill back nine version of Hassan and Dom, they point to the fact that, well, that guy's a mover. He's a guy who uses the entire ring. Well, Ryota Murata's not going to have that problem with a guy like Gennady Golovkin. But what is he going to have a problem with? And with that said, Coach Gogue, we're going to rattle off the tail of the tape for one Gennady Golovkin. Here's the tail of the tape. He comes into the ring at age 40. He fights out of the orthodox stance. He stands 5'10" tall in the center of the ring. He fights behind a 70-inch reach, originally from Karaganda, Kazakhstan. He now resides in LA, California. He comes into the ring with a very impressive record, 41 big victories, 1 loss, 1 draw, 36 big wins coming by way of knockout. So what is Ryota Murata going to have the most trouble with against, well, Triple G, the big drama show?
That jab of Triple G. I always said that's his main weapon. That punishing, heavy-handed jab, stiff, that he consistently uses to bust you up, to break you down, okay? Like the fight with David Lemieux, he used it beautifully to break him down. Bust his face up, swelled his eyes. That with a combination of body shots and combinations. Oh yeah, by the 5th, 6th round, Lemieux was nothing. He was done. And Golovkin, his jab is one of the most, I don't know, it's not talked about a lot. It's a shotgun jab, it's stiff, it's accurate, and he's intelligent on how to use it. He's intelligent on how to break you down with it. That comes with his amateur background. The dude had damn near 300-400 amateur fights, so that's what they're schooled at. Over there, the Eastern European style boxing, they're schooled on the stand-up style, using your footwork, moving in and out of range, and setting everything up with your jab. And Golovkin's jab, you can't teach that power, that heavy-handedness. Yeah. Then once he starts getting that rhythm with that jab, okay, he starts busting you up. It's deceptively quick. Then everything comes together. His right hand follows, the left hook follows, the body shots follow. You know what I mean? But that gets him into rhythm. That gets him into flow. Just basic shit he does, man. Joe ain't nothing. Nothing. What do you call it? Super spectacular he does. Like a guy like Floyd Mayweather, Enos, Crawford. But because he's physically strong, he can hit, and he's intelligent. Yeah. That's a handful for anybody. Yeah, but I don't, that Japanese guy, he's going into that guy's backyard. Was it 40, 50,000 people are going to be rooting against him? That's a tough environment to fight in, okay?
But right now, let's take a look at the tail of the tape for Ryota Murata, the current WBA middleweight champion of the world. He's going to come to the ring at age 37. He comes into the ring standing 6 feet tall, exactly in the center of the ring. He fights behind a very lengthy 75-inch reach. That's a 5-inch reach advantage over Gennady Golovkin, sir. Yeah. Originally from Nara, Japan. He resides and fights now and represents Tokyo, Japan. He comes into the ring with a very limited professional resume. 16 wins, 2 losses, 13 big wins coming by way of knockout. What this guy doesn't have in mobility, boy, he makes up for it in power. Coach, is there anything you like about Ryota Murata?
Not much. I've seen him fight. Like I said, Joe, he's a big star in Japan. He draws a lot. That's why he's got that WBA belt. Okay.
Anything
I
else
like
on
about
that
him,
laundry
Joe?
list, Coach?
What I like about him? Not much. Anyway,
Oh boy.
he better eat a lot of sushi and drink a lot of sake if he don't if he wants to. What if Golovkin has anything left? That Japanese guy is gonna get an ass whooping. You know what I mean? Ass whooping.